Hello, welcome to my student support system. In today's class, we will discuss about tissues. This class is in English, and if you want to study in Hindi, you can click on I button and you will get link of Hindi lecture. Or you can directly visit to my channel, my student support system. What is tissue? Tissues are the group of cells which perform similar tasks and are similar in size and shape. In human body, we have four types of tissues: epithelial tissue or epithelium, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and nervous tissue. About muscular tissue and nervous tissue, we will study in separate class: muscle tissue in musculoskeletal system and nervous tissue in nervous system. In this class, we will study in detail about epithelial tissue and connective tissue. Epithelial tissue or epithelium. Epithelial tissue are thin sheets like tissue that cover all the exposed surfaces of the body like skin, mucous membrane. They form the external skin and inner lining of all the oral cavities and other cavities also, digestive tract, secretory glands, the lining of hollow parts of every organ such as heart, lungs, eyes, ear, urogenital tract, as well as ventricular system of brain and central spinal canal of spinal cord. Epithelial tissue or epithelium, in this the cells are closely packed and intercellular substances, that is called matrix, is very less. The cells usually lie on a basement membrane which is an inert connective tissue made by this epithelial cell which are there. Epithelial tissue may again be divided into two types: simple epithelial tissue or stratified epithelial tissue. In simple, there is a single layer of cells, and in stratified, multiple layer of cells are there. Simple epithelial tissue. When the epithelium is composed of a single layer of cell arranged on the basement membrane, it is called simple epithelial tissue. The types of simple epithelial tissue are named according to the shape of cell, which differ according to their function. The more active the tissue, the taller will be the cells. So simple epithelial tissue is further classified in three types depending upon the shape of the cell. First is squamous epithelium, second is cuboidal epithelium, and third is columnar epithelium. So what is squamous epithelium? Squamous means flat. It is composed of a single layer of flattened cells. So here the cells are flat, arranged on basement membrane. So this is basement membrane and this is the layer of cells. The cells fit closely together like tiles and forming a thin and very smooth membrane across which diffusion easily occurs. Means the oxygen, carbon dioxide and some ions, they can easily diffuse. It forms the lining of following structures: the heart, where it is known as endocardium. So inner layer of the heart, it is made up of squamous epithelium. It will be very smooth. Alveoli in the lungs, that is also made of this, so that easy transportation of gases or exchange of gases takes place there. And the lining of collecting ducts of nephrons in the kidney, again there will be easy diffusion or transportation of ions or water. Second is cuboidal epithelium. as the name suggests, cube. So here the cells are like cubes. This consists of cube-shaped cells fitting closely together and lying on basement membrane. So this is basement membrane and cells are lying there. This cuboidal epithelium is actively involved in secretion, absorption and excretion. It forms the kidney tubules and found in some glands. Columnar epithelium. This is formed by a single layer of cell that are rectangular in shape. Here you can see. That's why we call it columnar. On a basement membrane, it lines many organs. Means it make the inner layer. Lining means inner layer. It is well suited to a specific function. The lining of the stomach is formed by simple columnar epithelium. Okay, so this is adjusted. They adjust their cell or the shape is slightly changed depend upon where they are situated and what will be the function. So here in the stomach they are simple columnar epithelium, while in the surface of columnar epithelium lining in the small intestine they are covered with microvilli. Okay, so this is columnar epithelium but it is slightly changed. So it is the columnar epithelium having microvilli and they are in the small intestine. They increase the surface area and they help in absorption of the nutrients from small intestine. Then there will be columnar epithelium having cilia. In the trachea, columnar epithelium is ciliated. Okay, what is cilia? They are hair-like structures. Okay, and they continually move. And they also contain goblet cell which secretes mucus. This means that the inhaled particles that stick to the mucus layer are moved towards the throat by cilia in the respiratory tract. So cilia moves continually like this and they move the mucus towards the throat. In the uterine tube, the same type of tissue is there. They propel ovum by the ciliary action towards uterus. Now the second type is epithelial tissue is stratified. Stratified epithelia consist of several layers of cells of various shape. Continual cell division in lower layer pushes cells above nearer and nearer to the surface where finally they shed off. Okay, so lower cells they continue to grow and they move upwards and finally the last layer is removed. That's why the skin, we say the skin is changed continuously. Basement membrane is usually absent in this type of tissue. The main function of stratified epithelium is to protect the underlying structure from the mechanical wear and tear like in the skin and mucous membrane. The stratified epithelium tissue is further classified into two types: stratified squamous epithelium and transitional epithelium. So what are those? These two types we will discuss one by one. Stratified squamous epithelium. This is composed of a number of layers. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of layers are there. And below they are columnar, then they change to cuboidal and finally they become flat. In the deepest layer, the cells are mainly columnar and as they grow towards the surface, they become flat and then finally they shed off. Okay, they go and lower layer come here and they change. Okay, so again new growth is there, new cells are formed and continuously they move upwards and lastly they are removed. This process continues in our whole life. This stratified squamous epithelium again divided into two types. One is keratinized stratified squamous epithelium and one is non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. What is keratinized? Keratinized means in this there is keratin formation. This is a protein that is tough. This is found on the dry surfaces subjected to wear and tear such as skin, hair and nails. The surface layer consists of dead epithelial cells. Just outermost layer, it is made of dead epithelial cell which contains keratin. These form a rough, relatively waterproof protective layer that prevents drying of the live cell which are below. The surface layer of the skin is rubbed off and is replaced from below continuously. Non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium found on wet surfaces subjected to wear and tear. This protects moist surfaces subjected to wear and tear and prevent them from drying out, such as conjunctiva of the eye, the lining of mouth mucous membrane, pharynx, esophagus and vagina. Transitional epithelium. This is composed of several layers of pear-shaped cells and it is found in the lining of urinary bladder and this allows for stretching as the bladder fills. Here you can see this is non-stretched transitional tissue and when bladder is full it is stretched like a rubber. Okay, so this is the transitional epithelium. Now we come to connective tissue. The connective tissue cells, as the name suggests, they connect, bind or support. They are widely separated from each other. Okay, the cells are not attached or tightly fit, they are widely separated and the interstitial tissue, that interstitial material that is known as matrix is more. There are usually fibers present in the matrix which may be present in a semi-solid jelly-like consistency or dense or rigid depending upon the position and function of tissue. Most types of connective tissue have good blood supply because a lot of blood vessels are there in between in the matrix. The major functions of connective tissue are binding and structural support, protection, transportation and insulation. Connective tissue contains the cells which are largely they are separated, they are not attached to each other and having matrix in between. And the cells are fibroblast, macrophages, fat cells, lymphocytes and mast cells which forms the connective tissue. Now types of connective tissue. A lot of connective tissues are there in our body. Areolar connective tissue, adipose tissue, lymphoid tissue, fibrous tissue, elastic tissue, cartilage tissue, bone tissue and blood tissue. Okay, so bone and blood, they are also connective tissue, but we will study them separately in the skeletal system and in the circulatory system. So in this we will continue to study these 6 connective tissue from areolar to cartilage. Areolar tissue, also known as loose connective tissue, they are found between the organs where it acts both to absorb the shocks and bind the tissue together. And the matrix is semi-solid with many fibroblasts and some fat cells known as adipocytes, mast cells and macrophages widely separated by elastic and collagen fibers. It is found in almost every part of the body, providing elasticity and tensile strength to the organs. Areolar tissue connects and supports the other tissue and it is found under the skin, in the subcutaneous tissue, between the muscles, supporting the blood vessels and nerves means around them, in the alimentary canal, in glands supporting the secretory cells. So this is the picture of areolar tissue where there are cells in between. These are the cells. Then fibers are there, and this is matrix. Okay, so cells are widely separated. Next is adipose tissue. Adipose tissue contains fat cells or adipocytes. Here you can see these are fat droplets or known as fat cells. They contain a lot of fat. They contain large fat globule in the matrix of this tissue. There are two types of adipose tissue, white and brown. White adipose tissue is most abundant in our body. It can appear yellow sometimes due to presence of carotene and other pigments from plants that we eat. White fat contribute mostly to the lipid storage and can serve as insulation from cold temperature and mechanical injuries. White adipose tissue can be found protecting kidneys and cushioning the back of eyes. So the deposition of the fat in our body is of white adipose tissue. Brown adipose tissue. This is present in newborn. It has more extensive capillary network, a lot of blood vessels are there. When brown tissue is metabolized, it produces less energy but produce more heat than the white tissue, contributing to the maintenance of body temperature. In adults, it is present in small amount. Okay, it reduces as the age grows. Then lymphoid tissue. This tissue, also known as reticular tissue, has semi-solid matrix with fine branching reticulin fibers. It contains reticular cells and white blood cells that are monocyte and lymphocytes. Lymphoid tissue is found in lymph nodes and all organs of lymphatic system. Fibrous tissue. This tissue is made up of mainly closely packed bundles of collagen fibers with very little matrix. Fibrocytes, they are old and inactive and number is very less, and they are found lying in rows between the bundles of fibers. Fibrous tissue is very strong and it is found in forming the ligaments which bind bones together as an outer covering of the bone called periosteum, as an outer protective covering of some organs like kidneys, lymph nodes and brain, forming muscle sheath that are also called as muscle fascia, and that extend beyond the muscle to become tendon finally that attaches the muscle to the bone. So these tissues are made up of fibrous tissue. Elastic tissue. Elastic tissue is capable of considerable extension and recoil. There are few cells and the matrix consists of mainly masses of elastic fibers secreted by fibroblast. It is found in the organs where stretching or alteration of the shape is required, such as large blood vessels walls, in trachea and bronchi and the lungs. Cartilage tissue. Cartilage is firmer than other connective tissues. The cells are called chondrocytes and are very less in number. They are embedded in the matrix, which is reinforced or given power by collagen and elastic fibers. Cartilage are of three types: hyaline cartilage, fibrocartilage and elastic fibrocartilage. Hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilage is smooth bluish white tissue. The chondrocytes are in small group with cell nests and the matrix is solid and smooth. Hyaline cartilage provides flexibility, support and smooth surface for the movement of joints. It is found on the ends of long bones which form the joints, and also from the costal cartilage which attaches the ribs to the sternum and forming the part of larynx, trachea and bronchi. Fibrocartilage. This consists of dense mass of white collagen fibers in the matrix similar to that of the hyaline cartilage with the cells widely dispersed. It is a rough, slightly flexible and supporting tissue found as pad between the bodies of vertebra. Okay, it means the disc is formed by fibrocartilage in the intervertebral disc between the articulating surface of the bones of knee joint. Okay, it is also found in the knee joint called semi-lunar cartilage made up of fibrocartilage and the rim of body sockets of the hip joint and shoulder joint, deepening the cavity without restricting movement. Elastic fibrocartilage. This is a flexible tissue consists of yellow elastic fibers in the solid matrix. The chondrocytes lie between the fibers. It provides support and maintains shape, and it is found in the pinna or lobe of the ear. This is epiglottis and part of tunica media of blood vessel wall. So this is all about tissue. For watching such knowledgeable videos, you just subscribe my channel, My Student Support System. You can like my Facebook page, and for making your notes, visit mynursingstudentsblogspot.com. For latest update, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and join Nursing Notes Facebook group. Thank you. Have a nice day.